people, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a 2018 season recap because sadly, if you're in the UK, the season has ended, which is so sad and it breaks my heart so much because 2018 was so great, but I mean, had to come to an end. So yeah, I just think it's crazy how fast the 2018 season has gone. Like, it feels like yesterday was opening weekend and now the season has ended. So yeah, like, I find that so mental. I had a really good season. I only went to 2 theme parks, but I went to them like multiple times. There was other parks that I wanted to visit, but hopefully in 2019, now that I have a job, hopefully in 2019 I will get to visit the parks that I didn't get to visit this year. And yeah, this job will just make life a hell of a lot easier. So yeah, I'm really excited for 2019. But for now, let's go through 2018. Okay, so I have written down all of the holidays that I went on this year. So I'm just going to start from the beginning and work my way to the end. So the first holiday that I went on was Blackpool opening weekend, and this was a really good weekend. I wouldn't say it was like the best weekend I've ever had, but it was really good. It was Kaya's first time in Blackpool, which was amazing, and I think she liked it. So yeah, that was really nice that I could kind of share somewhere that I love so much with another person that I love so much, and it was just nice to kind of share that with Kaya and introduce her to Pleasure Beach and just share my passion with her basically, and that was really nice. The weather was so freaking cold. It was hailstoning, practically it was snowing kind of. It was just awful. The first day, like the Saturday, the weather wasn't really like that bad. It's just on the Sunday, like, holy shit, it was horrible. I hated it. I just wanted to go home and just wrap up nice and warm, and like, I've never ever felt that way about Pleasure Beach before, because it's my favourite place in the world. Obviously I want to stay there like all the time, but on that Sunday I wanted to go home just because it was so cold and wet and hailstoning and oh my god, absolutely horrible. So yeah, obviously that wasn't nice, but you can't help the weather. We had a really good time. We did have fun. I got on the big one, and I saw the Icon construction and develop a little bit more. So yeah, it was nice to actually get back in the park after 4 months of going without it. And yeah, it was a good start to the season. It was very dramatic, let's say. A lot of tea was spilt. I learnt that I don't need certain toxic people in my life, and I am very grateful for that. I am like, it is sad that like it happened, but I am grateful that it did happen, because now it's taught me that it's taught me to be careful like who I trust, and I'm grateful that I did have them in my life at one point, but people change and people move on, and opening weekend kind of did that for me. So yeah, but I'm grateful like for them and like what they taught me, and if you know like what happened opening weekend, you'll know who I'm on about. But yeah, I'm grateful that they were a part of my life for a few years, and they taught me a lot about theme parks, and they did help me like overcome some fears and shit, but they are out of my life, and we've all moved on. So yeah, obviously it was really sad that it happened, but now I've learnt and actually it was a good thing, and I am grateful that it did happen. Moving on to the second trip of the year, this has to be probably my favorite. Oh my god, sorry, I'm really excited there. I'm using my phone as my light, and Ariana just uploaded the Breathe In music video. That's exciting. Anyway, yeah, this has to be hands down probably the best holiday I've ever been on, like in my entire life. Like everything about this holiday was perfect. So this was in April and we went to Pleasure Beach again. This was April half term, I think it was, because I was still in college at this point. So I went for April half term, and yeah, I just had the best holiday ever. We went for 2 nights, and we spent 2 days in Pleasure Beach, and then like the first day we just like went around the town and just did a bit of exploring and stuff like that. This was also the holiday that I saw Icon being tested, which just like blew me away, because Icon just means so much to me, and I knew like before it even opened, like it's always meant so much to me ever since they like announced, ever since Pleasure Beach like announced Icon. It's always been so special to me. And I never ever thought that I would see it being tested. So the fact that I saw that was insane, and just the progress that had been made since I was there last time, like holy shit, like it blew me away so much. And yeah, just seeing it tested, it made me like kind of emotional, because I was like, we've seen this go from like little markings on the ground to it now being this really big huge coaster, and just seeing it tested was amazing. I never thought I would see it being tested. I got so lucky on that holiday. I also had my 50th ride on the big one, which again, you guys know how much the big one means to me. This was amazing. Like I was so happy that I got to ride the big one 50 times. That was insane. So yeah, I love that. And it wasn't busy at all. Like so many of the rides were walk on, and it was sunny, the weather was great. Like I just loved this holiday so much, and I really wish I could go back to this holiday, because it was literally the best holiday of my entire life. Nothing went wrong at all, everything was perfect. Yeah, it was just great, and I kind of feel emotional talking about this holiday because it was just so perfect. I don't think I've ever had a holiday that perfect before. And yeah, I just loved everything about it. So yeah, that was an amazing holiday. The next holiday was Fantasy Island, and this was May bank holiday, so this was like only a few weeks after the April holiday. So this holiday was like okay, like I wouldn't say it was the best holiday, but it definitely wasn't the worst. So the reason why it wasn't the best, the first day was kind of awful, but the second day was probably actually one of the best days I've had in Fantasy Island. But on that first day, we got stuck in so much traffic on the way there. Like it was ridiculous how much traffic we got stuck in. It was just standstill traffic for hours, and it was like when we finally got into the park and got our wristbands and shit, we had like an hour and a half left to just ride the rides, and yeah, it was so frustrating. But I mean, there's nothing that, you know, we could do about the traffic, but it was just so annoying. And we've never got stuck in that much traffic before, like on the way to Fantasy Island, so we were a bit shocked. But I mean, it was bank holiday, obviously it's going to be really busy, so yeah. So yeah, the first day was kind of a waste really, because of just all the traffic. It just kind of took up like, I can't speak. It took up like all of the day. We literally had like the evening and that's it, which was so frustrating. But however, the second day was amazing, and yeah, definitely one of the best days I've had in Fantasy Island. For saying that it was bank holiday Monday, it was dead. Like everything was walk on. It was literally like a school day. Like I was surprised at how quiet it was. I was expecting it to be a hell of a lot busier, and it just wasn't. Like I was so shocked. but no, like everything was walk-on, which was insane. So yeah, I got to ride like Millennium and Volcano, and Magic I think was there in May as well. So I got to ride on that for the first time, and I love Magic so much. Crazy Mouse, I just got to go on all the rides that I wanted to basically, and it was great. The weather was amazing, and yeah, me, my mum and my dad just had a really nice day. Let's say day, because I mean the holiday wasn't really a holiday because it was just like, you know, wasted a day, but the bank holiday Monday was like perfect. It was amazing. So yeah, that was that holiday basically. Then the next holiday was Blackpool Pleasure Beach again, and this was in May. This was like 2 or 3 weeks after the bank holiday. So yeah, it was kind of nice that I got to go on 2 holidays that weren't like really far apart. So again, this was actually a really good holiday as well. Again, one of the best holidays. This was the holiday that I got to ride Icon for the first time, which was insane, and I can't believe that I actually managed to get over my fear of that, because I mean, I didn't have like a massive fear over it. I was just kind of, I was a little bit kind of scared to ride it for the first time, because it's kind of like the unknown. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, everybody had hyped it up so much, and I'd already bought so much merchandise for it. I was scared that I was kind of gonna hate it, because like, imagine if I bought all of this merchandise and then I ended up hating it. But no, I got over my fear of it, and I absolutely loved it. Like, oh my god, it is insane. I'm even repping Icon today, wearing the Icon jacket, which I actually got on that holiday, I think. You can't see, but there you go. It's also got Icon on the back as well. So yeah, I got to ride Icon for the first time, and oh my god, it was so amazing. It exceeded all of my expectations, and it was, I've gone really blue. It was a lot better than I anticipated, and I felt really emotional when I was riding, because I felt really emotional when I was riding it, because like, I'd been waiting so long for Icon to open, and just like I said earlier, just seeing it go from little markings on the ground to how it is now, like, is insane, and it's so amazing. And also like the Icon staff, like, it was on 3 trains as well in May, and the Icon staff, they are just so quick. Like, once you're on, like, what am I trying to say? Once you get on Icon, you just ride the ride and then you're straight off. Like, the Icon staff just get it moving so quickly, and the queue always looks massive, but don't actually think that you're having to wait like 2 hours, because you're not. The longest I've ever had to wait for Icon is like 30 minutes maybe, and that's queuing like from the doors. If it's on 3 trains, like, the queue will always be moving, and the Icon staff just get it going so quickly. So yeah, like, shout out to the Icon staff for getting everything going like as quick as possible. So yeah, I rode that for the first time, absolutely loved it. And then also on that holiday, I got over my fear of infusion and just SLCs in general, because I thought, well, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really have a choice, because my dad kind of dragged me on infusion. But I kind of thought, okay, I've ridden Icon, which is, for me, like, Icon was like the scariest thing ever. Bear in mind, I haven't, you know, ridden like a lot of coasters, so Icon was like pretty big for me. I thought, if I can do Icon, I can pretty much do anything. And when I go on Icon, it kind of feels like, when I go upside down, it kind of feels like I'm, what's that word, like, I'm inverted anyway. Like, my feet are kind of already in the air, and it kind of feels like I'm on an inverted coaster anyway. So I thought maybe like that's the same kind of feeling that I'll get on infusion. So I just decided to do it. Like I said, I didn't really have a choice, but I kind of just let my dad drag me on it anyway, and if I didn't like it, then I never had to go on it again. But I did it, I went on Infusion and I loved it. I was expecting it to be really rough because that's how everybody makes it out to be. Everybody makes it out to be super rough and like a headbanger and just like a really crap coaster, but I don't see why everyone complains about it, because I actually find it's not the smoothest coaster like in the world. Like there are some rough bits, but it's not as rough as everybody makes it out to be, and I find it really enjoyable. And yeah, I just love Infusion, and I'm really glad that I did it back in May, because if I didn't do it then I'd be missing out on a lot. So yeah, I'm really glad that I did it. And yeah, I feel like I just like achieved so much on that holiday. Like I got over some really big fears, and I was actually really proud of myself. I'm not proud of myself that often, but this time I kind of let myself be proud, because I got over some big ass fears. So yeah, that was a really good holiday. And then in July we went back to Fantasy Island, and this was a good holiday. Again, it kind of wasn't like the best holiday. I don't really know why, to be honest, but it kind of wasn't like the best holiday I've ever had, but it definitely wasn't the worst. It wasn't as bad as May, because we didn't get stuck in traffic on the way there. But yeah, this was a really good holiday. We brought Kaya along with us this time, and she had been to Fantasy Island before, but she went like years ago, so she couldn't really remember it, and it had changed so much since she last went anyway. So it was really nice to take her and just, you know, show her like what had changed and stuff like that. Everything was walk on. We went on a Sunday and then on a Monday, and the Monday was the school day. So the Sunday, like, even that wasn't too busy, but then the Monday was like walk on everything. So yeah, like even on the Sunday everything was pretty much walk on, which was kind of insane. So yeah, that was really nice. The weather was so hot, like it was kind of like the perfect summer weather, which I kind of liked and I kind of didn't, because my favourite type of weather is kind of like dry but cold, not like too cold, but kind of like a little bit breezy. But this was like scorching hot. Like we were kind of like in the middle of summer, so it was like really hot, but yeah, like I didn't mind it because it wasn't, you know, like super hot. It was just kind of hot. I've talked about the weather. Oh my god, the banter with the staff was hilarious. So me and Kaya both went on Techno Jump, and the staff member on there was absolutely hilarious. He kind of played around with our, because I think that's manual operated, I think. And on the final bit you get kind of held at the top. If you've ridden it you'll know what I mean, but you kind of get, it's like a bouncy type of thing, and then at the very end you get right up to the top, like you go as high as you possibly can, and then the staff member will like press a button or whatever he does, and like you'll just drop and then kind of bounce. When me and Kaya went on it, everybody else dropped apart from me and Kaya. It was so funny, and yeah, he just kind of left us there for like a whole minute, which obviously doesn't seem like very long, but when you're on there it seemed like a lifetime, and we couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. And then he finally dropped us down, so I'll never forget that. That was hilarious. And yeah, just the banter with him was so funny. And then also the guy on Rhombus Rocket as well, he was so funny. And yeah, just the staff there, like at Fantasy Island, are just amazing anyway. Like they are always so talkative, and they'll always be up for a bit of banter, and yeah, they're just really nice. So yeah, that was really funny. And then I also rode Odyssey for the first time as well. I did have like a really big fear of Odyssey because it's like really high. I'm not like that scared of heights, but when it's an SLC, like it is kind of a little bit more scary. So yeah, I got over my fear of Odyssey. I think I prefer Infusion over Odyssey. Odyssey is a really good ride. I just find Odyssey a bit more rough than Infusion, and I didn't find it as enjoyable as Infusion. I still like Odyssey, like I don't hate it, and like I will ride it every time I go to Fantasy Island. I think I just prefer Infusion, but Odyssey is really good. I like the loop on Odyssey, like the full loop. Like Infusion doesn't have that, so it's kind of nice to experience that on Odyssey. And yeah, that was just a really nice holiday. In the evenings we just kind of evening, we only spent one night there. In the evening me, Mum and Kaya just kind of walked along the coast, and it was just really pretty, and just had a nice walk and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really nice. The next holiday was in Pleasure Beach. The rest of my holidays are now in Pleasure Beach. This was August. This was for one night again. We did want to go for 2 nights, but we couldn't really find a hotel that was like affordable enough, because it was like the summer holidays, so a lot of the hotels were a bit more expensive than usual. So yeah, we went in August just for one night, and this was my birthday trip. Because it was my birthday on the 4th, and then we went on the 5th and the 6th. Again, this was kind of like the Fantasy Island trip back in May. The first day was kind of wasted because we got scammed by the hotel that we were meant to be staying in. So basically we booked a hotel called Ocean Waves Hotel. By the way, never book that hotel. I think it's still like on the internet, and it's still advertised as being like open and you can book it there and stuff. So yeah, like if it's still advertised, don't book it because it is a scam. We found that really weird because we stayed in that hotel before. I think that's where we stayed back in May. So we thought, oh, we'll just book that again because it's cheap, and we know that, you know, it's not a scam or anything, because it, like, we've stayed in that hotel before. So when we got there at like 12ish, I think, like midday, and we got to the hotel, and like Dad parked the car and stuff, and like something was kind of strange. Like as soon as we got there we kind of felt, okay, something is a bit off here. And we tried like knocking on the door, and like all the blinds were closed, like everything was closed, and like nobody was there and stuff. So we were like, okay, we'll come back later and see if anyone's here. So we went into the park for a little bit, and then my dad went back, and he found out that they closed a few months ago. But obviously we didn't know that because they were still advertised online as like being open and you can book it and stuff. And we already paid for this, like we paid like £90 or like £80, something like that, for 4 adults, because me, Kaya, my mum and my dad went. And we paid like £80 for this hotel, and it was like a prepayment. So obviously they just kind of took all money and ran. So we basically just spent all day trying to find a new hotel. We phoned up the company that we booked it with, and they were actually really helpful and really friendly. I know like it wasn't their fault. I probably wouldn't book with them again just in case, but they were really friendly and really helpful, and they managed to find us a hotel to stay in for that night, and we didn't have to pay for it either because, you know, we like already paid. So yeah, they were really nice and really friendly. It just kind of meant the first day was a bit kind of awful, because I just felt really like anxious that we weren't going to be able to like stay anywhere, and we'd had to legit like sleep in the car, and yeah, like I just felt like crying on that first day because it was just horrible. Like we've never had anything like that happen to us before. So yeah, that was a shit thing that happened, but we know not to book there again. So yeah, every time we book a hotel now, I'm like really scared that the same thing is going to happen. But for the past 2 times that we've booked a hotel in Blackpool, they've been fine. So yeah, I think that was just a one-off thing. But yeah, obviously that was really shit, but that happened on the first day. But then the second day was like the best. Oh yeah, we also had a good evening as well. We only got on a few rides in the park, and then me and my mum and Kaya went out in the evening. Again, we just walked down the coast. We went on South Pier for a little bit, and then we went into Wetherspoons, and Wetherspoons was hilarious. Like, it was so funny. We sat outside on the rooftop bit, and it had like fairy lights above us, and the pretty lights were on in Blackpool. The illuminations weren't on, but they had like just pretty lights going down the street anyway. And South Pier was all lit up, and it was just so nice, and the weather was really nice. So yeah, and it was just, we just had like the best time in the evening. It was so funny. We couldn't stop laughing like at all. That whole evening was just full of laughter. I'll never ever forget that evening. It was so great. So yeah, we had, despite it being a shit day, we had a really good evening. And then came around to the second day, and that was a lot better than the first day. I met up with one of my best friends. She's called Jess. She is the most amazing person ever. I love her to bits. It's sad that we didn't get to spend more time with each other, but we made a deal that we'd see a lot more of each other next year, so I am like super excited for that, and we'll get to spend like a full day with each other and stuff, because we only spent kind of 20 minutes with each other, because like she was with her friends, I was with like my friends and family. She obviously just wanted to have that, like, that day spent with her friends. I wanted that day to spend like with my family and with Kaya and stuff. So yeah, like, it's understandable why, but we do want to have like a full day together because we love each other so much, and she is just the most amazing person. And we've always wanted to meet up. We have been talking for how long? Like 2 years maybe? Possibly more, I don't know, but I know it's been a few years. And we've always wanted to meet up, and we finally did it in August, which was amazing. We went on Icon together, which was great. She also bought me an on-ride photo, which I will treasure forever. And that photo will just bring back so many memories of like the best 20 minutes of my life. So yeah, that was great. It wasn't as busy as I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought August is going to be super busy. I saved money for a speedy pass. Didn't need to get one in the end. Every time I think I need to get a speedy pass, like, I always pre-save money for a speedy pass just in case. But every time I think I'm definitely going to get a speedy pass, I don't, because the park just never really seems that busy, which is great obviously. So yeah, like, it wasn't as busy as I expected. Pretty much everything was walk-on, which was great. Icon wasn't walk-on, but you only had to wait like 20 minutes for it. Not even that, sometimes it was like a 10-minute wait and that's it. It was on 3 trains again, so that was great. The big one was open, so I got to ride on that again. And yeah, it was just a really good day. The weather was also lovely as well. Again, it was kind of summer, so it was really nice. But then on the way home, we got stuck in so much traffic. I think there was some sort of accident or something, which obviously is really sad for anyone who was involved in the accident, and I really hope that everybody turned out okay. But we did get stuck in so much traffic. It usually takes like 2.5 hours to 3 hours to get home, and it took us like 6 hours, like, not even joking. We got home at midnight, legit midnight. But yeah, obviously I've got an itchy nose. Obviously that couldn't be helped, and like nobody was to blame. So yeah, it was just one of those things that happened. But apart from that, it was a really good day. And then the next trip was Blackpool in September. Again, this holiday was like perfect. I would love to go back to this holiday. So the illuminations were on, and we haven't seen the, well, no, that's a lie. We hadn't seen the illuminations since last year, closing weekend. But then before that we hadn't seen them since like 2014. So obviously it was really nice to see the illuminations again. I didn't vlog this holiday. Every year I like to have a holiday where I just don't vlog, because even though I love vlogging and I love making these videos for you guys, and I also love vlogging because they are really nice to look back on, and I'll always like have a way of remembering all of these holidays through my vlogs. This holiday I kind of just wanted to take a break from vlogging and just enjoy it without like talking to a camera every 5 minutes, and without worrying, oh, have I vlogged enough, have I vlogged enough? So yeah, that was just kind of nice to just like take a break from it. And I was also with my brother as well, and he doesn't like to be on camera, so vlogging around him is really difficult. So I thought, I'm just not gonna vlog, so it would just be a lot easier. But I do have, I think I have some on-rad photos. Yeah, I have an on-rad photo to remember it by, so, and I'll just never forget that holiday anyway. Everything was walk-on because it was a school day. Well, we went for 2 nights and we spent all 3 days in Pleasure Beach, and all 3 days everything was walk-on. The only downside to this holiday was the fact that Infusion and the big one was closed on all 3 days, because there was meant to be a storm. Luckily it kind of passed over Blackpool, but there was meant to be a storm and it was really windy, so that's why the big one just didn't open. And then Infusion, I think there was something like wrong with the track. There was like scaffolding around it or something, so that was closed for that reason. So obviously that was really sad because my brother has never ridden on Infusion before, so I really wanted to get him on Infusion. Hopefully next time that he goes, Infusion will be open and I'll be able to get him on it, because I'm like dying to see his reaction. And then me and my brother just also love the big one, like it's our favourite coaster, joint with Icon. So obviously that was really sad that he didn't get on that, because this was his only trip to Pleasure Beach this year. So it means like he hasn't ridden the big one at all this year. I feel so sorry for him. So yeah, but I mean, he got to ride on Icon for the first time and I loved to see his reaction because it was so funny. But yeah, it was nice to get him on Icon for the first time. This was also the holiday that we learned to love Infusion, because before this I kind of had a little bit of like a hate campaign against it, and I just hated everything about Infusion. But my dad dragged me and my brother on it again, and we went on it. We were super scared. We just sat next to each other, and we just did it because we thought, why not? We're doing it for our dad's sake. So yeah, we went on it, and we thought we were going to hate it again, and we kind of thought, why are we doing this to ourselves? But we went on it, came off, and we thought, oh my god, let's do it again. Like, we ended up absolutely loving it. I don't know why, I don't know what had changed. It was just less intense, and it didn't feel as bad. I don't know, I just loved it. I don't know why I hated it so much in February. Maybe I just wasn't ready back then. Maybe I didn't have enough like experience. I don't know, but I felt a lot more ready this time, and I'm really glad that I went on it again, because now I'm kind of obsessed with Revolution. So yeah, it's really good. And yeah, everything was walk on, and it was nice to be there with my brother, because he works a lot and he finds it hard to get time off work, so he can't go to Pleasure Beach as much as we used to go together, but it was like really nice to go with him and just spend some like quality time together, just like all 4 of us as a family. So yeah, that was a really nice holiday. The weather was great as well, apart from it being really windy. It wasn't like freezing cold or anything, so it was really nice. And then the final trip was Blackpool closing weekend. This was, I've written down fucking amazing, because this was the best holiday like ever. Apart from April and apart from May, this was like the most perfect holiday. Everything about this holiday was perfect. We didn't get scammed by a hotel, which was great. Kaya came with us on this holiday as well. It's me, my mum, my dad and Kaya. It wasn't as busy as last year because on the Saturday they had the late night riding event, so it was 10 AM till 10 PM. We got there around 11:30ish, which was like record time for us because it usually takes us like 3 hours to get there. But this time it only took us like 2.5 hours, which was like insane. So yeah, we got there for about 11:30ish, and then once we'd like got a response on stuff, it was about 12ish. So we had like 10 hours to ride everything, which was great. I was so determined that I was gonna need to get a speedy pass. Again, I'd pre-saved for a speedy pass. Turns out I didn't need to get one because it wasn't as busy as last year, and everything wasn't walk-on, but you didn't have to wait like 2 hours for every single ride. The only ride that had like the biggest queue was the big one, and sadly I didn't get to go on the big one on the Saturday just because I thought to myself, I'm not waiting like 2 hours for it, and I don't see the point in getting a speeder pass when all the other rides are only like 20-minute waits. So I thought I'd just leave the big one for the Saturday, but on the Sunday I managed to get on it, which was really nice, obviously, because I didn't get to go on it in September, so it was so nice to get back on my baby on the Sunday. We got to ride the rides in the dark, which was so much fun. Got to ride Infusion in the dark. Icon in the dark was insane. It's like crazy the difference like riding coasters in the dark and then riding them in daylight, and like it's so mental, like the difference is crazy. But yeah, Icon in the dark was so much fun. Also Infusion in the dark was insane. And it was really nice because we went on Big Dipper as well when it was dark, and when we got right to the top we could just see all over Blackpool, and like the illuminations were on, the tower is all lit up, and obviously the whole park was just lit up. It was so beautiful. Like there is nowhere more beautiful at at night than Pleasure Beach. It is so beautiful, it's insane. The camera like never does it justice. Like you have to experience it in person to see how beautiful it is. So yeah, it was just really nice. And then on the evening, we only stayed one night. On the Saturday night we went to Wetherspoons, again was really good. And it was just kind of nice to like relax there and stuff. And then it came around to the Sunday. Again, everything was kind of walk on. The Sunday was a little bit busier than it was last year. It's weird because the Saturday wasn't as busy as last year, but the Sunday was a bit more busier than last year. It wasn't like busy, but it was like a little bit busy. But we still got on everything that we wanted to. I had my final rides of the season on the big one and then on Icon. Icon was like a nighttime ride, which was amazing for my final ride of the season. Then the big one was like a semi-dark ride, so it was gradually getting dark, but the illuminations were already switched on, so it was really nice to ride the big one in like semi-dark. That was so nice, and just to look over Blackpool was really nice, and it was just nice to get back on my baby again. And yeah, just everything about this holiday was amazing. Also, Kaya got over her fear. Well, I don't think she got over the fear because I think she's still scared of it. But she went on the ghost train for the first time, which I was really proud of her for doing. So, yeah, and we also rode like Grand National in the dark as well because that's Kaya's favourite at Pleasure Beach. So we rode that in the dark and that was really good. And the entertainment was really good. And the whole park and the atmosphere was buzzing, and yeah, it was just so nice. And like I said, everything about this holiday was like perfect. So yeah, that was my 2018 season basically. I hope you guys also had a good 2018 season. Like I said, I can't believe how quickly it's gone. It's actually insane. This is definitely the quickest season yet. But yeah, hopefully opening weekend won't be too far away, and it will come around a lot quicker than most of us think. But I mean, in the meantime, we have Christmas to look forward to. Basically, Christmas is like already started for me, so I'm like buzzing about that. It's just kind of after Christmas, I think, is the most boring part, because January is like the slowest month ever. But yeah, let me know if you are going to opening weekend, and hopefully I will see you there. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you really want to. You don't have to, but if you really want to, then go ahead. Let me know how your 2018 season has been, and I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye guys, love you.